Hi guys! Are you one of those people that studied a lot of spiritual modalities, that knows a lot because you read a lot of books, because you attended a lot of workshops, because you've done all sorts of personal work, and in the end you still feel like you haven't had a personal, direct experience? Or if you did, it's only one or two here and there, but it's not a constant? Something that you've done all this work, you meditate all the time, let's say, and you still can't hear or see your energy guides. Or you're working on yourself all the time, and yet you still feel like you can't hear your own guidance from your soul. And you can't figure out how to get there. Like, is that you? Are you one of those people? So, if so, comment yes below so I know that this is resonating with you. This is a very common experience for people who are very studious, who are choosing to continue on their path, and this is great. We all need to do that. This is actually very commendable to keep going, even though the personality has not claimed yet some sort of a direct experience. They're always experiences, mind you. It's just the fact that the personality has not labeled that as such. So it could be extremely frustrating. It could be so uncomfortable to, and even discouraging. When you're practicing, when you're trying so hard, you're meditating, you're sitting in this vibratory resonance and everything, and let's say all you really want is to see your guide and you don't see your guide. Or you want to hear your guide and you don't. Or you want to hear the resonance of your soul. Or get clear directions, clear guidance, and it doesn't happen. It is a very uncomfortable experience, but believe it or not, it's actually pretty common. So, for the ones of you who don't know me, I am Eugenia Oganova. I am a soul strategist and a founder of Transcension Gate. What that means is that I help you guys figure out your life purpose, figure out how to claim your enoughness, to be in this state of abundance within yourself, and then design very particular, effective, clear steps on the path to your soul destiny that is tailored particularly to you. So that's what I do. But going back to this idea of I just really want to have a direct experience with either my guide or with energy or with the universe itself or with my soul, and I can't seem to figure out how to do it. Okay, so one thing here is that it cannot be mental. That is one mistake that I see people make, is that they try to experience energy as if it's going to be mental. Like it's going to be something that they are actually going to think, and the words will show up in English in your head, let's say. That's already off, because everything that we're trying to perceive here, it's not on the mental level. The only thing that vibrates on the frequency of the mental level is your thought. So if you're trying to perceive something that is not your thought, you can't perceive it if your consciousness is on the mental level. So the step number one is get out of mental. You have to not be on the mental level. Now, the second thing that I see happens is then the person tries to get out of mental by getting into their physical sensations. Now, it is absolutely essential to be in your body, to be present in order to sense anything. If we fly out of the body, whatever the experiences that we will get, they might be shocking and for a moment, but if you're trying to do it on purpose, it's not going to work. So we have to be in the body. So getting out of mental, getting into the body, that's a good thing. But then once you're in the body, if at that point you try to rely on the senses of your body to perceive energy, that's a pretty limited range. So most of the time that also does not work. Think about it. Your body is able to perceive what it knows within the capacity of the energy range that is really close to it. If you're trying to perceive an energy guide, let's say, that's vibrating on a completely different frequency, way faster than the body, or it would be physical next to you, so if you can't see your guide physically, that means it's not vibrating at the same frequency as your body, right? So now if you're trying to perceive it with your body, you're on a different frequency range, right? It's like you're listening to one radio station and the guide is playing its answer on a different radio station, and you can hear each other. So in order for us to be able to perceive energy, and perceive meaning hear, see, intuit, know, and there are many different ways how we can perceive energy. But in order for us to do so, we absolutely have to match the frequency of whatever it is we're trying to perceive. That's actually universal law. So if you want to, let's say, resonate with your energy guide, and you're starting from, here I am, I'm in my mental, I'm thinking that I want my guide, so okay, I'm gonna get out of my mental into my body. All right, now I'm present in my body, right? And in this body, I'm going to sense my guide. And then nothing happens. Because you're in your body and the guide is not. The guide is not in your body. The guide is somewhere else and in a different frequency. So if in that moment you then shift into, okay, I am in my body, but I'm going to stretch my perception beyond the body and tune in to the presence of my guide. Let's say I don't know where that being is, next to me or above me or anywhere. I don't know. But the concept of my guide, I'm going to tune into the concept if I can't figure out anything else. So by doing that, you're already creating a little bit of a window there, a little bit of an opening. Kind of a, like if you meet the guide halfway, maybe the guide is able to go also a little bit lower in frequency and match you. But we have to stretch up a little bit in order for energy to meet us. So sort of if the guide is here and you're here and you're vibrating a little bit faster, but let's say you can't get all the way there, that's okay. Most of the time, the guides will then try to meet us. But you still can't do it quite through the body. So that's a step number one, is that it absolutely has to be that your vibration is sort of beyond the body. Another thing is, in order to perceive energy, it has to be your way. This is really, really common misconception that everybody should be able to see energy, or everybody should be able to feel their intuition. There are plenty of people who don't resonate with the feelings. They're not empathic. There are also plenty of people who are not clairvoyant, so they won't see. There are different ways. My way happens to be clairvoyant. This is how I'm designed this lifetime. So my third eye has been open from the beginning of this lifetime so that I see energy. I have always seen energy, and I see energy in a very wide, multidimensional range, which is not typical, but that's how my life is designed because of the mission that I have. So whatever mission that you have, whatever it is that's applicable to your life, whatever it is that is matching your soul lineage, that is the type of ability that your system has. Like, I can't really hear energy, kinda, but not so much. But maybe that's you. Maybe you're clairaudient. Maybe you can activate that and actually hear different resonances. But guess what? It's not going to be words in English. That idea that the guide will be speaking in English never happens. What does happen, though, is you might get it more like a direct concept. It just drops in and you kind of understand it, so you can hear your own mind discerning it, sort of unpacking it. But how it came in as a sound resonance. It could come in as literally a sound, but it would not be words. You know, even me visually, I don't necessarily see visual things like people talking to other people when I see energy guides. I see beings, but I also see everything interconnected. There is no empty space. Every single millimeter of the universe is filled with energy, with consciousness. The universe is alive. We are all part of this one big conscious being that is God's source. There is nothing that is not God's source. We are all from that frequency. We are all one. But we each have a particular unique expression. So I see geometry, I see energy patterns, and I've learned to make sense of them so that when I speak, it sounds like I, can explain what I'm seeing. But the way I'm actually seeing it, I'm translating it essentially through my consciousness into something that is comprehensible for you. So the same thing has to happen with all of us. When we receive information, it very rarely comes as a direct something, because universe does not give us directions as in, this is your order, like go do that. That actually is against universal law. Only negative beings do that. Because as soon as that happens, there's something is commanding you. And it's meant to be that you are actually the conscious one making choices, right? It's a free will universe. You are a free will being. So you have to will yourself freely. But something can give you guidance. Something can give you advice. So my guides, they're actually my advisors, because I'm at the frequency level where guidance is not necessarily what I need. I need advice when I'm doing my work with large groups of people. So that's what I have. When we're on the earlier stages and we're just starting our journey, we do need guidance. And that guidance can come through a human person that has access, or it comes directly through you, through your soul, or through your guides. But it's always connected to your soul lineage. It's always connected to the pathway that is your own. So in the course that I'm going to be teaching really, really soon, there is a whole component there where we're going to be talking about this particular subject of figuring out your soul lineage, your pathway, and your types of abilities. The course is called Unlock the Power of Your Soul Lineage. So that is something that helps you figure out what is your star DNA codes, what are your abilities that you're meant to activate, what is your unique brilliance, something that is meant to be active for you in this lifetime as your mission. So if you are interested to find out more about your unique brilliance and your soul lineage, make sure you click that link and don't wait too long, because the class begins really soon and I only teach it once a year. So this is your chance. If you click on a link, you'll find out more information and you can make your decision. All right. So another thing about bringing in the information from your energy guides or having a direct experience is that you have to start from feeling enough. When we start from I'm not good enough and I hope that the guide would come in and comfort me or fix me or make something happen that I can't make happen, we start from being powerless. And guide can't meet us because we're not matching the guide's resonance, right? So in order to have a direct experience with your guide, you have to be powerful. You have to see yourself as powerful. I know it sounds kind of like, well, if I'm like emotionally really down and I'm just asking, please, my guide, come in and like help me, how can I see myself as powerful? Well, you still can. You can see yourself as, wow, this is a really hard thing I'm in right now. It really hurts. Maybe my heart is breaking, or maybe I'm in physical pain, and this is really, really hard. But I have compassion for myself because this is a hard lesson I have chosen. See how there's still power in that, right? You're not a victim of it. So from that place, you can ask for assistance. You can ask for guidance. And then, yes, you are more in the frequency range of your guide. So make sure that you start from that enoughness and a power place, even if you're not feeling good. Because that's how you prepare yourself to be able to receive the guidance that comes in. Okay? Okay, Patricia asks, can I open my third eye so I can see my guides? Well, yes, probably. But what most people don't realize is that the guides are not out there somewhere separate. It's sort of like an energy resonance that is actually in your head. So I know it's hard to explain, but when you're looking at your guide, you're thinking your guide is over there and you're over here. But from the guide's perspective, there is no linear time or space, so it's not actually over there. It's all just about resonance. And because of that, it's actually more about matching the resonance than to be able to see something outside. And if we translate it literally into seeing with the third eye, you actually see in your head, not outside. That's one of the things that people always ask me, because I am able to see energy, that they think that I'm seeing like here or there. I am seeing in my mind, but then it translates outside. Very, very, very rare, like 0.0001% is then the third eye can actually translate through an optic nerve. And then the person will, with their physical eyes, see energy. That usually, and I mean, I've seen a lot of people who can do it, but I've never seen anybody be able to do it past the etheric. In other words, etheric level, that's the, like if you're looking at your body, right? And you know, like if you look at a certain way, there would be like a little bit of a bluish or greenish around the body. Or if you ever looked at a tree and you know there's like a little bit of a halo around the tree, right? You know what I'm talking about? That energy is etheric level. That's the closest one to the physical. Physical is essentially etheric, just slowed down to such an extent that we think it's solid. It's actually not, it's all energy. But we think this thing is solid because of electromagnetics that hold it down, but all the way through the quantum. But really it's etheric energy that just slow down. So somebody can see etheric through their physical eyes because the body is very closely calibrated to that level. But once you start to go further and you start to see energy guides, let's say on the astral, or animal guides on the astral, or people who have died on the astral, or energy guides that are much higher, like angelic entities, or higher spiritual guides and guardians and multidimensional beings, well, none of that is going to be through the physical optic nerve. It's going to be through pineal gland. Pineal gland is a tiny little, looks like a marble that's inside the center of your brain. And it's a lens that normally is pointing forward because that's how we calibrate it when we're unconscious. We're looking forward, and then through our optic nerve we're receiving information, and all of that is also resonating frequency into our pineal gland. When we're utilizing it in the conscious sense, seeing energy, like truly being clairvoyant, not just in the sense of seeing a little halo, but really seeing multidimensional beings, that pineal gland lens turns upwards. So it's like an eye, and instead of looking this way, it turns up, and it starts to look up. So directionally, there is no up. Universe doesn't actually have linear directions. So looking up simply means being in alignment with a vertical tube of energy that goes through your body. And when that happens, that's when, if you calibrate it to different frequency, you can see your guide. But the very simple version of that is you are already able to use that muscle, at least when the lens is turned forward, at least somewhat. Like for a moment, think about your guides, right? All of you, just think about, okay, whatever your energy guides are. If you know, great. If you don't know, just think about, okay, they're there. You can feel them. And what color is your guide? What color energy? Okay, how did you know? I bet every single one of you knew. So put it in the comments. What did you get? What color is your guide? Now, the way that you knew, that is your natural way. You either heard it or you saw it. And if you saw it, you didn't see it with your physical eyes. You weren't looking at anything. You saw it in your mind through the pineal gland, and then the optic center of your brain translated that as blue, let's say, or yellow or green or white or purple. So there you go. That's how it works. All right. So for the ones of you who are interested to figure out your abilities, to figure out what is your pathway, what is the way that you are meant to, in this lifetime, activate your abilities, what abilities those are, what is your soul lineage, then click on the link for this course that starts really soon, so don't miss it. I only teach it once a year. This is your chance. And you will find out more information. You can make your decision, and hopefully I will see you in the class. And make sure that you like this video and then share it. Share it with your friends, share it with whoever you know that really is having this experience, that they really want to connect with their guides and kind of confused about it, or the topic we just talked about, the third eye, the clairvoyance, or other abilities. That could really help someone to understand better how that works. All right, bye-bye.